Welcome back to What's New in the Lou with Alexis Zotos, presented by Caldi's Coffee. This is your can't miss weekly podcast helping you stay in the know in St. Louis. We're talking everything from the best new restaurants, those can't miss events, and most importantly, the people that make St. Louis the best place to live and visit. Now, stick around for the end of the episode because we have got a full lineup of events happening this week, so you know exactly what is going on. And you know what's going on in St. Louis is that there is always something yummy to eat. And this week we are talking all about a St. Louis classic, toasted ravioli. And we are here with Matthew from STL Toasted. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
It smells so good in here. Like, I apologize that this podcast is not also smell-o-vision or like smelly pot. I don't even know how I would say that if you were just listening, but wow.
Yeah, they can alleviate that by coming and getting the food.
They can just come to STL Toasted.
Oh, this is what they were smelling.
I mean, this is what we're smelling right now.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, you can go smell it in person on the hill. That's where you guys are located now.
Yes.
It's been a year.
Yeah.
How has that been?
It's been amazing, honestly. Like, the community of the hill is like very, it's just so unique. You know what I mean? You're in a city, but you feel like this small town, you know? It's really cool.
Did you guys originally opened at the Foundry and then moved to the hill about a year ago? Were you always envisioning being on the hill, or what was the like?
Yeah,
was that always the goal?
Kind of. So pretty soon after we opened at the Foundry, this building came for lease, and I saw it, and it used to be Mama Toscano's, which is a very historic, especially in that neighborhood. Like, people grew up going to that place. You know what I mean? Like, you're talking 70 years plus of history there. So when I saw it, I was like, not anybody can take that over, and it's going to be a daunting task, but I wanted it, you know?
And it took some work.
It took a lot of work. It took us a couple of years. We did everything ourselves, had to, you know, it's a family-owned building they've had forever. There's stuff that needs done. So we had to do a lot of stuff. But in the long run, you know, it was just such, like I said, historical place that we wanted it, you know?
Do you ever feel like you're sort of like the baby on the hill or like the new guy on the block?
Yeah, I do. But what's cool about that is that there's been several businesses within the last few years that have kind of popped up, kind of younger guy. Pizza de Gloria being one, Nikki Slices. You got Sado over there, Nick. It's actually kind of cool to be part of.
You guys could be like a literal band. Of
Yeah,
new kids on the block.
Yeah. It's kind of like, you know, we're the brat pack of the hill, I guess.
I love it. But yeah, there is that sort of new life, a little bit, if you will, coming to the hill.
It's just, that's the thing, is that the hill's always been a destination. So we're not reinventing anything. We're just keeping it going. You know, it's consistency in that neighborhood of just like, you know, things just keep making it what makes it special, you know?
Better and better.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about who you guys are, what you do. Let's start from the beginning.
Yeah.
How'd you guys get started?
It started out, we've talked about this, I think, the last time, but I had an accident. A lot of stuff happened. I used to be a musician, you know, and I spent a year during COVID, basically, after I had my accident. I basically passed out at the wheel while I was driving my car. Yeah. So all that happened. I spent a year doing that. My wife was finally like, it's time for you to do something. And food was always a passion of mine. As a musician, I worked in a lot of kitchens and stuff as a side job. So it was just something where she was like, you need to do something. I'm like, I had this idea about toasted ravioli. What if we try it? And we just went for it. And it started out with pop-ups in our front yard.
I love that. What was that like? What did your neighbors say?
Well, we lived in South City, and we kind of had a unique spot where, like, me and our one neighbor were a shared townhouse. Like, we were the only ones that really were on the street there that faced that street. So we kind of had our own little corner. So it kind of worked out perfectly. Yeah. And
when you said, I want to do toasted raviolis, what did you think? How did you think you could do it differently than every other restaurant that serves toasted raviolis in the city?
Well, my first thought, then this was back in like 2013. I was like, it'd be cool if somebody did like a bunch of different types of toasted ravioli, you know, and just focused on that and like kind of made it creative. But I was like, I'm not doing it, you know. And then all this happened, and I'm like, let's try it. And we just started taking, you know, every culture kind of has their like dumpling, if you will, that you can stuff anything inside. And this is that, you know, and we're just taking that and taking St. Louis flavors, which we're going to talk about, that just work.
And so when you got the opportunity to take it beyond a pop-up,
Yeah.
how did you take those next steps?
Blindly. If I'm being honest.
I mean, that's usually how it has to be.
I just said this the other day. I was like, they say you fake it till you make it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still wondering when the making it happens.
That's fair. We like that honesty.
Yeah.
But I mean, how did you, so the founder spot came available. Did they approach you? You approached them? We approached them. I got a contact and we were able to send an email to them and they brought us in and we just kind of talked about what we were doing and they were excited about it. So we signed a contract with them and we had a 3-year lease, which ended last year in like June. So yeah. But was the idea always to have your own space?
It just kind of grew to that. No, it was just, things just happened naturally. We didn't really have a plan. Like I said, we were kind of flying blind. Like we didn't have a plan. We were just like, this would be cool to do. I need something to do. Let's try it. Yeah. And let's just kind of take a shot. What's the worst that happens? You fail.
What was the reaction you guys got from customers, trying the toaster raviolis beyond just what they had come to expect from a toaster ravioli?
Yeah, I mean, we really focused on quality. So a really stuffed ravioli with unique flavors with imported flour from Italy. We're using 00 Caputo, which really, you can tell in the tenderness of the pasta after you fry it. People noticed, they're especially now that we're on the hill, people are like, oh, this is real deal. You know what I mean? And you can see that. People,
if you're watching us on YouTube, you can see this, but if you're not, then you can go watch us on YouTube. But look at this thing. This is a big toaster ravioli.
And that's not a big air pocket.
Like that, it's a full on toaster ravioli.
Yeah.
And that, people notice that.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
What, you started with, what's your original? Talk to me about what goes into your OG one.
That's a traditional beef one. And a lot of Italian would add some pork. We don't add pork into that one just because we have a lot of customers who don't eat pork. Okay. So we keep it, we just keep it beef, but a lot of fresh grana padano, a lot of fresh herbs, good beef, and it just all gets mixed up and it's like a nice cheesy, juicy beef. It's not dry. You know what I mean?
Yeah, nobody wants a dry toaster ravioli.
No.
And I always hate when people try toaster ravioli for the first time, if they're coming to St. Louis and they try a bad one and they're like, this is what you guys talk about. I'm like, well, if you don't have a good one, you can't even, you can't. There's nothing worse than a really dry, flavorless toaster.
No, it's bad. Yeah. And unfortunately they're out there.
There are a lot of good ones, but there's also some just kind of mediocre ones. So not only though do you have these traditional ones, but you guys get a little wild with your flavors.
We do. Yeah. Dessert ones especially.
Yeah.
Dessert is something that we've.
And did you think about that from sort of the beginning that you wanted to do dessert ones, or did that come about because where did the idea for dessert ones come from?
Yeah, dessert was from the beginning. We started with a lemon berry gooey butter cake one that is just really good. Yeah. It's fresh. It's bright. It comes with a blackberry coulis and a lemon mascarpone, and it's just, phenomenal.
Yum.
It's kind of like a fried donut kind of situation thing.
You're speaking my love language.
Yeah.
And then you started kind of just evolving more flavors from there.
Yeah. We still have a huge list of flavors that we'll get to eventually. You know what I mean? You never really can end.
What's the wildest one you think you've done? Or have tried?
The most complicated one we did was a s'mores one.
Ooh.
Which was really good, but what happened, we put all the marshmallow, graham cracker, chocolate in there, and the marshmallow disintegrated. So we had to make a house-made marshmallow fluff and then pipe that in afterwards, which was really good, but
probably took quite a lot of time.
Yes, yeah.
Is there one that you were like, this is gonna work in your brain and just didn't translate?
No,
they all hit.
They kind of have. I mean,
I love that.
Yeah,
I love that. What's your favorite?
my favorite's not one that we don't have on the menu right now, but it was a jalapeno popper with candied bacon on top.
Yum.
And it was with like a lime ranch.
Oh,
it was so good. So you got like that sweet, that heat, a little bit of acidity. Like it was really good.
And you guys collaborate with people. That's one that we've got right here.
Yeah.
This Four Hands collaboration. It's honored their 10-year anniversary of Citywide.
Yes.
Talk to us about that collab.
Yeah. So it's funny. I've been trying to get this collab since we started.
Love it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like for years now. And I've like every time I'm at the Tower Grove Farmers Market, anywhere they're serving beer, I'm like, here's our card. Please give this.
Nice.
And somehow it just never got there. Because, but now we're doing this collab and we're all really excited about it. So we're doing like a smoked and citywide braised pork steak, toasted rav, with our house-made barbecue sauce. And this pork is just like, it's so good. They got some white cheddar, some garlic cream, some barbecue sauce, some pickled red onion in there, and it's just phenomenal.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds so good. USA Today readers have named Caldi's Coffee the best coffee chain for the second year in a row. Since 1994, Caldi's Coffee has built its reputation on thoughtful sourcing, careful roasting, and warm, consistent service that shows up in every cup. It's an honor earned through daily dedication to quality. Explore Caldi's best blends and find your cafe at caldiscoffee.com. What is that like to get to work with other local companies, other local brands like Four Hands?
It's amazing. I mean, that's how we started. Like our first collab was with they've changed it to a coffee shop now, but it was Bella's Froyo on Wash Ave.
Oh, yeah.
That was our very first collab, and we've collabed with the Drawing Board since then. Other people, like, that's kind of like what we love to do. We've got some more we're trying to do. We want to do one with the Stellar Hog maybe, or like some other people. Like, that's any way that we can make St. Louis just a little bit cooler. That's all we want to do. You know, how can we bring, and that's what's cool about St. Louis is that the business owners in St. Louis, there's community, man. You don't see that in a lot of other cities where people are really actually like willing to like, oh yeah, let me sell your product at my place. Like I got people like Nikki buys our sausage. He buys our toasted ravs and he sells them, you know, at his store, Nikki Slices.
Nice.
And that's awesome. You know what I mean?
Was that a big help for you as someone who was coming into this hospitality industry and kind of starting from scratch a little bit?
Ginormously, yeah. Absolutely. Like, I don't think I'd be able to do it without that community of like other business owners helping me get through. You know what I mean? Because we're all facing the same thing. Prices are rising. We're trying not to pass it on to the consumer, but at some point you kind of have to, and people don't want that. But it's just kind of the thing. So we're all going through the same stuff and the low profit margins. But you know, when I used to watch Food Network before I started this, chefs be like, oh, it's like 18-hour days. And I was like, there's no way. And now I'm doing it. I'm like, oh, wow.
Wow. It in fact is.
Yeah, it sure is.
And you guys are now expanding beyond just your toast ravioli. We have two of the sandwiches here.
Yeah.
Talk to us about adding sandwiches. Why and did you decide that was something you wanted to do and maybe needed to do?
Yeah, it's something that we always wanted to expand our menu, but when we were at the City Foundry, you can't compete with the other stalls.
Makes sense.
So it was hard to find items that we want. Like we couldn't do sandwiches. We couldn't, you know what I mean? Like, so it's really nice to kind of get free from that and be able to actually show what else we can do. Because we're doing sandwiches now. I'm making all the meats in-house. So we make house-made roast turkey, roast beef. I make salsiccia in-house. We do porchetta, hand-breaded and pounded out chicken cutlets and stuff like that. We also make we buy this bread right here. Is a seeded French bread that we get from Pete's Italian Baking Co. on the hill. And then we make this bread, which is the schiacciata, which is like a thinner, crispier focaccia style bread.
Like focaccia.
Yeah, but focaccia typically is actually more dense, and a lot of the sandwiches, especially like in Tuscany or whatever, are served on a schiacciata. So it's a little traditional and it's fun to make.
What's been the reception to the sandwiches?
It's been great. Yeah, we're getting a lot of people who are coming in, like maybe for the toasted ravioli, but they try the sandwiches, like, oh wow. And we kind of became like a sandwich shop overnight. It was weird. Interesting. Yeah, it kind of just like took off.
I love that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good problem to have, right?
Exactly, yeah.
You mentioned some of that tradition. Can you walk me back your family history? How long have you been sort of cooking? Was it something you grew up with, or?
Yes and no. My mom is a really good baker, and she's always like, she would do a lot of like baking stuff for either churches or, you know, people's weddings, all that kind of stuff. So I got my love for hospitality from my mom for sure.
Nice.
But cooking was something that I just kind of took on. It was a passion of mine that I've just kind of cultivated throughout the years.
Self-taught?
Self-taught. You know, YouTube University or whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? But yeah, I really care about quality, and you know, everybody hears about pre-made items and stuff. Like we want to stay away from that. We want to make stuff from scratch. I want people to enjoy really good food. I don't want to make something that someone can go buy at the store and make themselves. You know what I mean? So that quality is where it just really resounds with me.
And is that something that you then hear back from your customers? Like that they notice that difference?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Go look at our reviews. Like, I mean, we're doing, a lot of people really enjoy what we're doing, and I hope we can continue that. Like, we're not a company that like wants to go have a bunch of locations. That's not really what I want to do. I want to have one location right now that's just really, really good, and just keep building on that. You know what I mean? And just keep bringing that, and not over, you know, extending myself. Just focus.
Is that hard as a business owner? Like this like need or this pressure, if you will, that people feel like you need to expand? Like, is that something you feel, or as a business owner, is that something like a pressure you get from the outside world?
Yeah, you do. I mean, you get some of that. You get some people who are like, oh, I wish you were out in the county. You know, and yeah, we could probably do that and make money, you know, if we could, but it's not really about terrible to say. It's not really about money, though.
Sure.
I mean, in this industry, you're not making a ton of money anyway, so it better be about the passion. And that's what I want to preserve. Like, it's just the passion of doing things really well.
And you have a family. You have a new baby.
Yes, yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, we have 2 under 2.
Oh, it's busy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Has the toddler tried toaster ravioli?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah. She's actually, she's a little gourmand. Like,
oh, we love it. We love it.
She'll eat anything. And she's like, more. You know what I mean?
I hate to break it to you. That will come to an end at some random point that you think like, or not. You know what?
Not.
Maybe yours will just continue to eat everything.
I mean, she was eating like gorgonzola and like French onion soup at like 6 months. Like,
we love it.
Yeah.
It is funny. Like my 4-year-old, I feel like he was such a great eater. And then just like one day he's like, so I only eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Yeah.
I'm like, fantastic.
She'll grow out of that, though.
Yeah. I mean, it's like one of those things where it's like, you just never know. And I feel like I never went through a picky eating phase, but both of my sisters were very picky eaters. One of them still to this day is like not tried all fruits because she just like didn't like fruit for a long time. And she'll be like, you know, I was feeding my baby.
I feel sorry for her.
Right? She was feeding her baby a mango. She's like, well, I've never really eaten a mango, so I didn't really know how to cut the mango for my kid.
God.
I'm like, okay, we're going to do a fruit education course or something.
Wow.
Is that something that you hope to pass on, that like love, that passion for food to your kids?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, just about anything. You know, like I said, I was a musician. Yeah. So just having a passion for something and going for that, you know, I want to instill that in my kids. I don't care if they take over the restaurant or whatever, but I want them to find whatever they want to find, and I want them to pursue it to the fullest.
What connections do you find between being a musician and being a chef and restaurant owner?
Oh, a ton. The artistry, the creativity, like it's a daily thing, and just like honing your craft every day, just getting a little bit better, practicing, you know, it all really correlates. It's really just another way for me to express my artistry.
And you mentioned you kind of are always keeping this idea of new toaster ravioli, like new combinations. What are ones, if you can spill, that that's in your mind that you would like love to create? Yeah.
One would be, we've done it in the past, but we haven't done it. It'll be a little bit better this time because we're doing like house-made sausage and stuff, but like our pizza toasted ravioli. It's like kind of like a combination pizza roll deal.
Love it.
Really good. we'll probably go to our Oreo toasted ravioli it's like a Oreo truffle kind of deal.
God, that's like that, like a deep fried Oreo at a state fair.
Yeah,
like,
and we serve it with like an
freaking
espresso
good.
mascarpone.
Oh, yum.
Yeah, so you get like that bitterness, that sweet. It's really nice.
Do you have the same dough for like the sweet ones and the savory ones?
No. So like the savory ones typically get like a standard pasta dough, but like the sweet ones, like this one I believe is a cinnamon dough. And we've done like vanilla dough or like a lemon dough or things like that. So yeah, it does switch with the Oreo one would be like a chocolate dough.
Oh,
yeah.
How many toast raviolis are you guys making a day?
Oh man, anywhere from like 800 to 1,000 probably, depending on if we're like really busy. Yeah.
Are you at a point though where you can't make? I mean, I guess there's only so many hours. There's only so many like hands in the day that you could only make. When they're gone for the day, I'm guessing.
Yeah, for sure. We try to keep a good stock.
Okay.
But there are times we're getting to our busy season and we're a really small operation. Like it's me and my sous chef and we make everything. Wow. That's it. We wash all the dishes. I'm changing the deep fryer. Like I'm taking out the trash. You know what I mean? Like we're a pretty small operation. So we are ready to grow.
So if you want to come make some badass
but we need
raviolis.
the right person because like I said, we're a tight-knit group. Yeah. We work really hard, but we have fun.
You mentioned you get into the busy season. Obviously, summer brings so many tourists. When they Google toaster ravioli in St. Louis, are you hoping that your spot's the place that they come try it out?
Yeah, we actually so the cool thing about the Hill as well is that from what I've heard, I need to probably look into the stats. Don't quote me. Well, you're going to quote me, but it's apparently the Hill is the second biggest tourist attraction in Missouri behind the Arch.
Wow. It actually wouldn't surprise me. Yeah. It's hard to always there was actually an interesting article in St. Louis Business Journal recently about kind of like the tourist attractions in the city and how they're like ranked and rated and things like that. And it is tough because like there's no admission to the Hill. So it would be hard to like fully quantify that. Right. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's a top-notch destination.
Right, exactly. So we're open on Sundays and Mondays.
Oh, that's clutch because not many places on the Hill are open on Sundays.
Right, exactly. So we get a lot of tourists who are like leaving for the week after the weekend, and they're like, "Oh, we'll go to the Hill and we'll get lunch," and they're like, "Nobody's open." There's like three of us, Guidos, I think Mama's and Marconi, but I think that's like it. Joe Fosse's. But yeah, that's like it. So people come and they're like, wait, nobody's open. So then they end up coming to us, and it's great.
Good thing to have us.
It is. It's nice. But yeah, Mondays as well, St. Louis, a lot of places shut down on Mondays. Yeah. So we're open on Mondays and we do like an industry day on Monday. So nice. If you mention that you're in the industry, mention your place, you get 10% off.
Very cool.
So we try to do some cool things like that,
What excites you for the months to come?
Just continuing to grow, you're gonna we're doing more like special sandwiches and stuff. Like this one right here is like an Italian chopped cheese that we're doing.
What is a chopped cheese?
Honestly, so a chopped cheese is
I feel like that's everywhere right now.
Yeah, so it's more of an East Coast thing, but a chopped cheese is like basically just a cheeseburger that's like chopped.
That is not at all what I thought that was. So thank you for
a lot of people it's basically a cheeseburger that's like chopped up on the flat top with all the stuff. And then it gets like a burger sauce. But this is our Italian chopped cheese. So we're making, it's a half pound of our house-made sausage, Italian sausage. It gets chopped up on the flat top with bell peppers, onions, some Provel cheese. That gets on there. And then it comes with some marinara lettuce or marinara, arugula, tomato, onion. It's really good.
Okay. Of your sandwiches, which is your favorite?
Our most unique sandwich is probably this porchetta. There's a couple places that do it, but again, that's a pretty unique sandwich.
Yeah, and for people who don't know what that would be.
Yeah, porchetta is, so the way we do it is a pork belly that's wrapped around a pork loin, stuffed with a bunch of fresh herbs, lemon zest, garlic, and then fennel pollen, which is a really big thing for that flavor profile. It's a skin-on pork belly, so it gets roasted, and then when it comes out, I take it with hot oil and crisp up the skin, and it all puffs up. We slice that, put it on a flat top, and then on our house-made bread, the schiacciata, and that
sounds delicious.
Yeah, it's great.
When you think about like changing of seasons, spring right now, we're heading into summer. Are you a seasonal kind of guy? Is there going to be like a summer vibe toasted ravioli?
Yeah, for sure. Like we normally go to like one of our lighter flavors, probably something citrusy, in the dessert toasted ravs. Like the pork one is pretty summer. I mean, so that one it was only supposed to be a month. We're probably going to keep it going the whole summer, the special.
Nice.
So people can get that. As long as I can keep enough of them, we'll have that smoked and citywide braised pork steak toasted ravioli all summer.
We can celebrate that anniversary and that collab all
and it comes
summer
with a free citywide.
What?
Yeah.
Way to bury the lead there.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You mentioned a couple of other like dream collabs. When you think about redefining something as iconic as toasted ravioli in St. Louis, what is your biggest dream when it comes to that?
I just want, again, I just want to make St. Louis a cooler place. Like you think about Philly cheesesteak, like Philly, it's like Philly cheesesteak. You know what I mean? Like I want that for St. Louis, and we have some of that, but I like on a national scale, I want people to recognize that we're doing things here. You know what I mean? Like the food scene is hopping, and people are working really hard to make sure that happens. And I that's what the collabs are all about. It's just like, how can we both just elevate St. Louis and elevate our status, because we should.
Absolutely. Cheers to that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right, let's dive into what's going on in the Lou this week, April 20th through the 26th. First off, Counter Public's artist launch party is this Thursday, April 23rd. This weekend is the Earth Day Festival at Forest Park. Always a great time, happening Saturday and Sunday, the 25th and the 26th. Storytime at City Garden is a free storytime happening Saturday, April 25th. Indie Bookstore Day is Saturday, April 25th, with events happening at all of our local indie bookstores, so go support local. And finally, Market on McPherson is a farmer's market happening in the Central West End on Sunday, April 26th. As always, if you think you've got an event that we should include in our calendar, let us know. You can find us on social media at What's New in the Lou on Instagram and on Facebook. Thanks for listening.